So I have a story, and before I get into this, I want to tell you that this story bothers me so much that I have a hard time telling it. So I literally made notes. So if you see me looking up, it's because I'm looking at my notes, not to be rude. So let me get into this. Okay, first, I haven't posted anything in about 5 years, so I don't really know how to YouTube. We'll see how this goes. I don't think I'm going to be posting like very often, but this I really just have to get out because this bothered me so much. Okay, first off, the main characters in this are me, my cousin Lauren, and this guy Nate that I don't really know, and we'll get into that in a second, okay? So, first off, how I met Nate, alright? How I met him was, God, my freshman year of high school. Okay, this was like 2010, alright? I was in freshman in high school 2010, 2011. This is 2010 still. And my friend Jenny from school is like, hey, do you want to go out with me and two of my guy friends? And I was like, sure. Me being the tiny, innocent, little Catholic school girl that I was, I didn't even think of it to be a double date until recently. So, you know, I think it was a double date, and that might explain some of the actions that occurred. I felt like Nate was getting uncomfortably close. I just wasn't comfortable in the situation. Anyway, that's not really what my story's about, but, you know, kind of needs to be said. He's just an uncomfortable guy to be around. So we're at this movie, and recently, that year, this movie theater put a, rule into play where they put a big sign in the lobby that says, if you're caught with your phone, you and your group will be ejected from the movie without a refund. I love this rule personally because I hate it when people are on their phones during movies or talking to me during the movie. It bothers me so much. It's one of my huge pet peeves. If it's the previews, like, go ahead, like, text your grandma hi or whatever. But if it's during the movie, then please put it away. Like, I don't care if it's the most boring scene in the world. I don't care. Put it away. Okay. Well, guess what Nate does? He is on his phone the entire time texting other girls. I'm sitting next to him so I can see his phone. He's texting other girls, and I didn't care because I didn't know it was a double date, but now I'm just kind of like... Anyway, so he's texting other girls the entire time with his screen on full brightness. He didn't even try to turn it down. Like, if you're turning your brightness down during a movie, like, that's one thing. Like, that's, you know, just a mild pet peeve. But if you're turning, like, a brightness all the way up, it's just like, I want to slap the shit out of you. Honestly, I do. I love movies. I don't want to be distracted by you. I'm already ADHD enough. I don't need your phone to distract me even more. And I am diagnosed ADHD, so, fact. So he's just being an asshole at the movies, and when we left right after the movie. He hugged me goodbye. Like, the other guy didn't, but I think he was kind of interested in me in the time, but, like, I wasn't. I'm, like, mentally behind a few years, I think, because I really just didn't get into guys, like, in that way until, like, my sophomore year of high school. But let me get back on track here. I'm sorry. So anyway, he's been an asshole at the movies. We didn't talk for like months, to the point where I think I had his number, but I didn't know I had his number. So I get Snapchat when it comes out or something. I don't know when I got it. I'm a late bloomer for everything. I'm like always behind. Like, if I have it, everybody has it. So I get Snapchat eventually, and Nate has it. So he pops up on my Snapchat as like a friend that I know. And he added me, and I didn't really know who he was. I had forgotten, like, all about him. I remembered the movie, but, like, I just didn't remember him. So he's messaging me on Snapchat, and he's, like, trying to remind me who he is, and he's like, we should hang out. And, once I remembered who he was, I was just kind of like, oh, God, no. Please, no. And I was looking for a boyfriend at this point in time in life, but I just didn't want him. He's not my type at all. I'm so sorry. There's this giant storm coming through right now, so like my power went out like twice already. Anyway, he's not the type of guy I like to go out with. He's kind of a douchebag. The whole movie experience was just miserable with him, and like if I can't go see a movie with you, then what's the point? And you know, that's gone on for a few years. He'll message me every now and then. Like, we never became close friends. We've talked once in a while, and that's like it. And there's been like multiple times when I forgot who he was and he had to remind me. That's how like little I gave a shit about him. Alright. So he texted me, or he Snapchatted me a few weeks ago, and knowing that I have a boyfriend right now. Alright, I have a wonderful boyfriend. But, you know, he's obviously seen Snapchats of me and my boyfriend, because I see that he sees them, okay? And he Snapchats me, and he goes, I miss you. Let that sink in. I miss you. I literally messaged him back, and I was like, that's kind of creepy, considering that last time I saw you, it was that one time freshman year of high school. I graduated 2014, alright, so it's 2016. I haven't seen him since 2010. It's been 6 years, okay? So, he goes, LOL, yeah, I guess I just flirt with all the girls. Why would you tell someone that? Like, if you're flirting, like, legitimately flirting with a girl who's, like, semi-interested in you, I'm not, but, like, if he was, for some reason, like, why would you say that? Like, out of all honesty, why would you say that? So anyway, that conversation, like, died out real fast, because I really just didn't want to talk to him. Thunder. Anyway, so time goes on, and I'm, you know, sleeping in my bed one day, and my cousin Lauren comes in and lays down on my bed. And, like, she doesn't live here. She just kind of showed up, you know. She does that once in a while. But, I woke up and grabbed my phone and took a Snapchat. And I was like, oh, look who showed up at my house this morning. And I put it on my story. So, for those of you who don't know Snapchat, for those of you who don't Snapchat, if you send someone a Snapchat, then it lasts for, like, maximum 10 seconds and disappears forever. Yeah. But if you put it on your story, it lasts for 24 hours and then deletes itself. Simple as that. So, I literally, yeah, okay, so I put it on my, story, and later that night, like, my cousin's gone. I'm actually with my other cousin at a baseball game at this point in time. And this Nate guy messages me, and I'm just like, oh God, what does he want? So I open it up, and he goes, who's in your picture? I literally feel like that's something he would say, like exactly like that. But he said, who's in your picture? And I immediately said, she's my cousin. She's off limits. Now, he has literally done this to about every single girl I've ever had on my Snapchat. He will message me and say, who's in your picture? She's hot. So I'm used to his response next being, she's hot. So, you know, it's not really a douchebag of me to say, like, she's off limits, like, right away, because I know what he's going to say. And immediately he gets defensive, and I can see kind of why he would be defensive, because I was kind of being a bitch at the time. But he goes, well, I wasn't going to hit on her. Then why do you need to know who she is? So he, God, I know, I need to get back on track. Okay, so he's asking who she is, and then he's saying, like, or I message him, and I go, hey, can you please just not comment on girls that are in my story? Like, that'd be really nice of you. Like, it just really makes me uncomfortable when you're asking, like, or you're telling me that girls are hot who are, like, my best friends. And he goes, I have a right to look at your story. I never said don't look at my story. I just said don't tell me when you think girls are hot in it. And he literally argues with me about how he has a right to look at my story because it's public, and I can't do anything about him thinking that the girls in my story are hot. And I go, okay, yeah, I can't. You're right. I never said you couldn't think they were hot. I said, don't tell me about it. You have free will to do that. And I'm like, or he was like, well, I wasn't even going to say that she was hot. And I go, then what were you going to say? And he goes, I was going to say she was cute. It's still the same thing. It's so annoying. If you don't think it's the same thing, then you're wrong. It's the same thing. And he did end up asking me for her number. While I'm at this baseball game, by the way, I'm so annoyed. Like, I literally missed, like, a great run of the night because I was texting this guy. But I'm so argumentative, and obviously he is too, that I just couldn't put the phone down. And it literally got to the point where I texted him, and or Snapchatted him, and I was like, I'm at a baseball game. I will talk to you about this later. I'm just not doing this right now. And he continued to message me. He, like, wouldn't stop. So, I took a photo of the field, and I said, I'm at the baseball game. I will talk to you later. And he didn't message me back, but later that night, I did end up blocking his ass because, one, he obviously was not going to respect my wishes that I asked him to not comment on girls that were in my photos. Two, he's always been kind of a douchebag to me and not respecting my wishes. I remember one time he hit on me, and I was like, oh, I'm in a relationship. And he goes, well, that doesn't mean I can't say you're beautiful. No, I mean, you can say I'm beautiful, but you were kind of sexualizing it, and that just made me really uncomfortable. And when I asked you to stop, you really didn't. So this is a multiple thing. And, you know, he's always asking to hang out, and, like, I know what he wants to do. He wants to hook up, and that's it. Because he's literally told me that before. I think I'm just going to end it there, because honestly, this is going on 12 minutes so far. I'm just so done with him. I'm done with guys like him. If a girl asked you to do something simple as don't comment on girls that are in my photos, like, please just stop. It's really annoying, especially when you do it all the time like Nate does. You know, just please don't argue with them. Like, they have a right to ask you to not tell them, like, for you to, like, why would you even do that? Okay, okay, I'm just done. I'm gonna stop it here. I can't even anymore. Alright, bye guys.